Hello, I'm MOK O'Keeffe and I'm the founder of the Innovation Beehive. Welcome to day 2 on our focus of moving from fragile to agile. How do you drive agile innovation in your business? Yesterday, I talked about the key 3 elements of innovation and agile innovation: working with focus, moving at pace, and having an experimental mindset. Today, I want to go into a little bit more detail for you around working with focus. The important thing around working with focus, and I talk about it in my book, The Innovation Ecosystem, is having a really clear sense of your innovation direction, listening to the voice of your customer, and then structuring your organization with intent to avoid silo mentality. So having a really clear sense of an innovation direction, leaders setting a real sense and clear direction of where they want their people to innovate, is sadly lacking. 42% of people in the 12th annual survey of Agile Innovation said that they felt their innovation efforts were not being sponsored or supported by their line managers. And when you think about innovation, are you clear about where you want your people to innovate? Is it around customer journey? Is it around business processes? And then when you might give them an innovation focus or an innovation direction, are you clear about who owns what part of that innovation journey? Those organizations who have absolute clarity over who owns what, who is accountable for what, in what part of a business process or a customer journey, have their best bet of delivering agile innovation. A great example of an organization who organizes their teams around specific parts of the customer journey and therefore gives you a higher chance of being able to innovate effectively in that area is USSA. They look after the financial services for serving members of the military in the United States and military veterans. Now, they will have, for example, somebody who looks after change of address in the customer journey. Now, no matter whether that change of address is being done online, whether it's being done by a letter, whether it's being done in branch, or whether it's being done on telephone, or whatever way it's being done, there is one individual who is accountable for that moment of truth in the customer's journey. So they bring all that knowledge and all that insight to your innovation efforts. And they also make sure that your intended customer journey is replicated right across whatever platform that customer may actually use to implement that journey. And the important thing there is about bringing the voice of the customer into the room. It's about being really clear on your innovation direction and saying, is this a real need, pain, desire for my customer? Or, as we often see happens, do I just have a capability or a product that I want to sell? Am I actually meeting an unmet need by my customer? Is there really a market for this? And thirdly, working with focus is around making sure you structure with intent. Whether you're like Google X and you go and do something completely separate, whether you're like Spotify and you have cohorts that are put matrix across the organization, or whether you work cross-functionally with working parties, it's really important that you are really clear about who you want to innovate, how you want to structure them to innovate, where they get their customer insight, and what direction you're focusing them in. So, to work with focus, the first element of delivering agile innovation, you have to have a really clear innovation direction. You listen to the voice of the customer, and you need to structure your organization with intent to avoid silos and make sure you bring the voice of the customer into the room. And if you want to find out more about working with focus, do download our white paper, Fragile to Agile. The link is found below, or check out our videos on YouTube by entering the Innovation Beehive.